Hello, everyone. This is General History, and this is part 24. I don't know. I'm starting to lose track now because this Antietam's gone on for so long. But yeah, I believe it's part 24 of our Ultimate General Civil War playthrough. Go ahead and unpause this. We are just beat back another charge here in the north, although they've sort of taken up some positions in the West Woods. Uh, but they don't really have too much of a significant force now. I don't have a lot myself here, although I do have a good amount of reserves. Let's go ahead and bring them forward a little, just in case they decide to give it another go. So yeah, we're hopefully going to complete the Battle of Antietam this battle, or this episode, sorry. Um, we do have some forces on their flank, although it looks like they moved their guns forward. Originally, when I had made this large sweeping flanking move, they didn't have any men, or they didn't have any, well, they had their guns near the woods there. God, sorry, I had to get that one out. Let's go ahead and give them another charge with this cavalry. Again, I don't know why they ended up all the way back there. Oh, I guess maybe they were chasing, oh no, I don't know how they ended up all the way over there. But yeah, we have sort of stalled the Barksdale's attack across the bridge here. We're sort of launching our own sort of counterattack here. Now, this isn't very historically accurate because, as I talked about in the last episode, historically, Burnside, I said Barksdale, Burnside did cross the bridge, and although he was severely slowed while after he'd taken the bridge, as he moved on Sharpsburg itself, simply because the bridge was so narrow and he had so many troops and equipment to get across. This took a lot of time. So this allowed Lee to sort of position as much artillery. He couldn't really put any more troops into the battle to support D.R. Jones, but he was able to sort of mass his artillery here in the south and hold off as long as he could. Now, Burnside would eventually move on Sharpsburg with about 8,000 of his original 1,200 men. Now, some forces were left to defend the bridge. That wasn't troops that he had lost. In his initial assaults on Sharpsburg through Cemetery Hill, not to be confused with Gettysburg Cemetery Hill, his initial assaults were successful, pushing D.R. Jones' forces all the way back to within 200 yards of the town itself. Rebel forces were retreating all throughout Sharpsburg. The battle seemed lost. Now, Toombs, who had held the bridge, as well as Snively's Ford, he would really be the last intact brigade here in the south. And like I said, all seemed pretty much lost at this point. However, marching into the field from the south was the final bits of Lee's army under the command of A.P. Hill. Finally rejoining his army. Like I said, this is the last of Lee's army, which since the beginning of the Maryland campaign was spread out all over Maryland. Now they are finally all back in one place, and A.P. Hill not only arrives at the perfect time, but in the perfect place, right on the Union left, right on Burnside's left, as he is approaching Sharpsburg. Like I say, he arrives on the Union left flank. Hill then begins to use his forces and marches them and just begins to roll up the Union left flank. What I mean by that is he starts on one end of the Union left flank and he systematically moves across it. Now, most of the Union troops on the left flank were Green troops. This was because they were mostly just there just to protect the left. Most of the attack on Sharpsburg was happening sort of more in the center of the field there in the south. So most of these troops on the left were Green, so they were immediately begin to disintegrate. There's actually stories where most of the troops at that moment forgot how to load their weapons, so they couldn't even get a second shot off because that's how green they were. And there was a lot of confusion as well because a lot of APO's men were actually wearing Union uniforms that they had replaced with their own from the supplies that they had taken from Harper's Ferry. Uh, Now, with the quickly dissolving left flank, Hill begins to envelop the Federal troops there in the center, and this ends up breaking Burnside's troops, routing them all the way back to the creek. Burnside, with his forces dissolving, pulls back to the west bank and spends the rest of the battle guarding uh, the bridge here in the south. He asked for more reinforcements from McClellan. McClellan gives him one artillery battle, saying that's all he can spare. He has no more troops, where in reality he had 2 corps in reserve. Let's go ahead and finish this battle. We have achieved victory, and I don't want to lose any more troops than I already have. So yes, he asks for more troops. McClellan doesn't give it to him. Like I said, he even though he has 2 corps in reserve. And that is pretty much how the battle ends. Like I said, Burnside would sort of defend throughout the night, with things slowly trailing off. Now Lee remains at Sharpsburg through the 18th, daring McClellan to attack him again. Um, but Little Mac doesn't take the bait, and Lee pulls out the next day with the remainder of his army. Now, the Butcher Bill, the historical Butcher Bill, was extremely costly on both sides. The Union would lose about 25% of their total strength of the battle, which was about 27,000. Which was about 12,000 troops. Which more than 2,000 of those would die. Were dead or would die, with another 10,000 Confederate troops. The final totals was about 22,000 dead or wounded at Antietam, which to this day is the single day most troops that have ever died in a U.S. war. It's the most costliest day in U.S. history. Pearl Harbor, 9/11, D-Day, they don't even compare to the troop loss at Antietam. McClellan would eventually get sacked about 2 months later, and both sides would sort of claim victory at Antietam, with, like I said, if you remember back at the first episode, sorry, I'm a little I've been talking a lot over the past couple hours, so I'm a little rambly at the moment, sorry. The Union would claim victory simply because Lee would be forced to retreat back to Virginia. However, that was the plan really all along. Lee, at that point, really didn't have any ideas of renewing his Maryland campaign, so that's sort of where this idea of why did he choose to battle at Sharpsburg when he had no real plan to continue his campaign. So you could sort of fault Lee for that. However, like I said, if the Union claims victory, it would have to be a Pyrrhic victory, simply because of the numbers of casualties that they took during the battle. And if the South were to sort of try and claim victory, they would also have to look at that. Not only did they have to retreat from the field, like I said, at the end of the day, Union did command the field, but they also took a large amount of casualties. So really, it could go either way. I think most people tend to look at it as a draw. Now, both Lee and McClellan would actually look back on it and say it was their greatest triumph. I think for McClellan, that's saying a lot. I think he's overstated his belief in what actually happened in the battle. Whereas Lee, I would say this was one of his greater moments. He was facing overwhelming odds. Granted, it was from an army that didn't really commit itself, but he did still face overwhelming odds, and the way he was able to shuffle troops around the field was almost masterful. And granted, he did get a little help there towards the end with AP Hill coming in for the rescue, but it was still an amazing display that was put on by Lee in this particular battle, especially seeing as up until this point, now granted Second Manassas outstanding, Lee really hadn't performed too well. The Peninsula campaign was a little messy, so this, on top of this Battle of Second Manassas, really is what starts cementing Lee as a powerhouse general. So like I said, historically, Union lost about 12,000 men. This battle, apparently, they lost 35,000 men, which was, of course, more than either side would take. We lost about 15,000, which is about 5,000 more than historically they took. So that hurts a little, especially seeing as I don't remember what the reward is, but I don't think we get that many troops at the end of the day to replace them. We achieved all our goals. Units, Brian had the best. I don't remember what troops he was. But yeah, he did pretty good. 2,800 to 475 losses. Although I think the artillery batteries there in the northern sector were really what saved the day, and really the Williamsburg battery did end up taking some heavy casualties there towards the end as they started attacking the church. And then we have, oh god, no, well we did get a lot of promotions, so we see some new lieutenant colonels, we have some colonels, we do get another brigadier general there. However, we lose Marston, we lost Lane, he's totally gone. We have some wounded generals here, some promoted lieutenant colonels and colonels, promoted, and of course we lost Louis Armistead. About a year early, unfortunately. Louis Armistead would die during the Battle of Gettysburg, trying to take the angle there at Gettysburg. But we also got Albert Johnson, who was promoted to a lieutenant general, and Thomas Jackson, who was promoted to a major general. So Thomas Jackson finally gets that promotion that we've been seeking for him. Now time to the goods. We captured 15 Napoleons, that's great. 625 Sharps. A lot of Lorenz rifles, that's good. A lot of Enfields, 1 Colt. We rescued a bunch of our farmers, palmettos. Ooh, look at that. We have now, just between our rescued and captured, over 3,000 Harper's Ferries. That's going to go a long way in getting a lot of our troops back up to strength. Supplies, 4,000. Rescued a bunch of our Springfields. Got 1 10-pound Parrot. Rescued 12 of our howitzers, some reboard, hunters, some of our Whitworths are back, Richmonds, and alright, so there we go. That's our goods recaptured and captured. Alright, 2 career points plus 20 reputation, and we get Robert E. Lee as one of our generals, so he's probably going to replace Longstreet. And we got some prisoners exchanged. And now we have to rebuild this army. As I said, I lost more than I actually have now in reserve. So I might end up having to, I don't even have enough reputation to be able to get some troops in. But then again, a lot of these troops, like Stonewall Brigade was overstrength because going into that battle. We'll put Pickett in charge at Stonewall Brigade. Actually, we'll put... did I lose any division commanders? No, I didn't. Okay. Oh, wait, yeah, I did. So we'll put Claw in charge of the 4th Division. Actually, let's go. We'll put Longstreet in charge of the 3rd Division. We placed Dury there. Alright, we'll put Dury in charge of the Bloody 8th. We're going to have a lot of promotions to try and get in. We have a ton of money now, though. So that's good. Just going to replace them with Lieutenant Colonels, because we didn't actually lose too many men. We go to my barracks. I have a lot of wounded. So we didn't actually lose too many, so that's why I'm okay with just placing these guys with Lieutenant Colonels for now, because eventually these guys are going to come back. And they didn't really lose. Because all these losses we're not really going to have to replace for the most part. So that's good. As well as the 2nd Corps, we really don't have to, especially that 1st Division didn't really commit itself too much. It was really this 1st Corps that just took a lot of casualties. So let's go ahead, and make this division all veteran. We'll go ahead and give Bloody 8 all veteran as well, because it's not going to cost too much to... a little bit more than I thought it would, but it's okay. And these guys will probably, for the most part, have to give rookies.
Yes, sir.
Same with the Alabama Brigade. We can go ahead and give them all rookies. Ooh, this one's gonna be expensive to replace because I don't want to lose the stars we got gained. So that's gonna be an expensive one. Ooh, look at that, 41,000. That's gonna eat into it. Get these guys. Can we get them up there all the way? Yeah, we can. Great. That saves us some money. So Forrest didn't take any casualties. So we can actually outfit these guys with 500 troops. It's going to cost another $7,000 though. Alright, Old Dominion Guard can't quite get up to 15. Same with extra Billy Smith's boys. Alright. Last division. Should be able to get most of these guys replaced with rookies. Save some money. I think I'll go ahead. They're almost at, and it shouldn't cost too much to replace these guys with veterans. They're almost at 2 stars. Might as well. And it's going to cost too much for these guys to get replaced. Same with the Irish Brigade. That would just cost too much. Especially seeing as I don't have any more of these guns in the army anyway, so it's going to cost a lot just to replace them. The guns, that is. Alright. Get all these gun batteries back up to 16 guns. They lost some men. There we go. So there you go. The 1st Corps is now fully banked out again. We'll go ahead and get these guys up to 500. We're slowly building up him into a full brigade.
Yes, sir.
So we still have 21,000 left to go. Johnson did get a promotion. Let's see what we got. We got leader, command radius, morale resistance, speed and stamina, or cover and melee. I think we'll go attacker. Alright, we'll go experience, we'll go infantry, and we'll go leader for Lee. Alright, So let's go ahead and build out the second corps now. Get them back up to full strength. 15 Barksdales. They lost one man. Most of the second I should be able to replace for free. For rookies. They didn't really take too many casualties the second. Leonard did though, because I think he was a full 750, right? Pretty sure he was. Okay, he didn't take any troop. Okay. We're gonna have to replace him with all veterans. Keep his newly gained second star. Mr. Leroy Jenkins. You know what? This is Leroy Jenkins. Let's give him less accuracy. That makes sense. I actually did a deep dive, by the way, to see if there really was a Leroy Jenkins. I couldn't find anything. To see if there really was, like I said, it really was the, okay, yeah. If there really was a Leroy Jenkins in the Confederate Army. I couldn't find anything. Doesn't mean he didn't exist, but I couldn't find anything on him, if he did. Alright, Brian and Talaferro, Stu at full strength. Snow took some casualties. He was that gun battery that got hit there across the middle bridge. So we got him back up to 16 guns. And none of these troops I'm going to have to replace, although he took a gun casualty. So I have to get him up. Yes, unless he just wasn't at 15 guns before, I don't remember. But we got some promotions because these troops are now newly fresh onto the, or no longer newly green. They have some sure, why not? Let's get them up to full strength. And kitchen as well. Did they take any? No. Okay, they didn't take any troops. So there you go. All of our troops are now back up to full strength. And we still got a lot of money left. You know what? I realized I didn't add my career goals. I probably could have saved some money there. But I think I wanted to go. I'm not going to go Army Organization just yet, because I still haven't even filled out that third corps yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and start building up my... should probably put it towards economy and medicine. Let's go medicine. I want to start building up my reconnaissance. Just so I can get to the next one, which should give me, like, in-battle troop strength, so I can see, yeah, current army strength during battle. Just so I can see what we're facing as we play. So there we go. I'm happy with that. Let's go up here to my reputation. We can, so, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure AP Hill died in one of these past battles, but now I can get him back. So that's fine with me. Let's go ahead, we'll get AP Hill back. And we'll go ahead and throw him into the fray right away. We'll put him in charge of the instance. Good. There we go. AP Hill, now back into the fray. Alright, so let's go through this second brigade. Let's start replacing their guns, because, well, okay, so they still have farmers. Who still has farmers? These guys still have farmers. So for now, we'll go ahead and give them Springfields, we'll give them Springfields as well. I think everybody else has, yes, okay. So let's start going around to these people that don't have that have Springfields, and let's start upgrading them. First, let's see what we have in the armory. Actually, let's go on first core. Make sure these guys actually all have good weapons as well. Let's do this. Let's give them Harper's Ferries. Actually, let's go ahead and buy all these while we have the money. All these guns that are hard to come by. We'll go ahead and... No, we won't. So that should be actually enough to finally upgrade Forest with... Yeah, because Forest had 500. And there we go. So we finally, actually, no, we better have some in reserve. So we can finally upgrade one of my cannons to these Tredigers. Which have the same range as the Parrot gun. So let's go to my first division. Not Parrot gun, the 10 pounder. So we'll upgrade these guys with the Tredigers. So finally we have enough for that. So now we have a 10-pound Tredegar battery, 10-pound howitzer, 10-pound ordnance, and another 12-pound howitzer. Sorry, 12-pound howitzer. Alright. Let's go... Where was this? Forest. Sorry, this might be a little boring for people, but if you don't want to watch it, I mean, I'm not going to start another battle this episode, so if you find this boring, just leave. Sorry, I like you. If you're watching my videos, I like you. Okay, so yeah, we got enough. So we have Nathaniel Forrest upgraded with the Lamette revolvers. And, like I said, let's go along here. Now we don't have a lot of money left, so I might actually hold off on doing anything. I don't know, they don't have enough to upgrade them with Harper's Ferries. We don't have enough in the shop. The Harper's Ferries are unfortunately guns that we have to capture. Although for some, that doesn't actually make too much sense actually. Because now technically we would be in control of Harper's Ferry, so we should be able to get the Harper Ferry rifles. Yeah, I don't know. So let's go ahead. We have enough to equip one division with Enfields. That's not going to be enough money to equip anybody else with anything special. I think yeah. Let's go along the third core here. I think all these guys have too many. Stewart might be the only one that can... Do we have enough? Yeah, we have enough money just... So Stewart has enough money, we can equip him with the Springfields.
Yes, sir.
And there we go. Let's go ahead and create a new division. So we can start building out this final or the third division in this third corps. Let's give them reboard farmers muskets. Just enough to give them a full 25. Oh, we don't have enough men. Okay, so we had enough just to equip one new division. And we'll go ahead and get get their supply up. We'll go ahead and get their supply up. Yeah, 17,000 supply, 15,000 supply. He's maxed out. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Alright, so there we go. There you have it. So let's go ahead and look at the future battles map. As you can see, that it's going to be Fredericksburg. That makes sense. But before that, we have Prairie Grove and Corinth. Okay, so we had the Battle of Corinth coming up. Or Corinth, sorry. Prairie Grove. I actually don't know if I know this battle. This might be a surprise. Let me take a look. December 7th, October 3rd. So it's going to be after Corinth? Or Corinth? I'm trying to remember what battle comes after Corinth. Your armies of Arkansas. I'm not familiar with this battle, actually. So that should be interesting. A battle I'm actually not familiar with. Unless I'm just not, it's not coming to me what it actually is at the moment. But we'll see. And then, of course, let's take a look at Fredericksburg. Only 9,000 troops if I lose. Although that makes sense, because we, as the defender at Fredericksburg, should be pretty well entrenched there. So it shouldn't be a costly battle. It shouldn't be like Antietam. Shouldn't be. So we gotta bring 3 corps. At the moment, we have 67,000 troops. It's saying they only have 8,000, but I'm sure that's just the initial crossing. Hopefully if we can bring up the recon one more time before the battle, we'll have a better idea. Hopefully by the time the next battle hits, I'll have one more to Army Org, so I can maybe get these guys up to 25 brigades apiece. Maybe. I doubt it, though. In fact, I may not even mess with that until after Fredericksburg. Just because I think I'd rather try and fill out the 3rd Division, because if we look at what are my gains for these, so that's only going to give me another 38,000. That's another 38,000. That's only if I don't take any massive casualties these next 2 battles. Now I could go and use my reputation if I could save up enough. Gotta get 7 reputation. So if I don't use any other my reputation, I could probably get more troops before Fredericksburg. I'd lose 50 reputation if I lose. I seriously doubt if we'd lose Fredericksburg. It'd be Fredericksburg is one of those battles. It'd be hard to lose Fredericksburg, but it's possible, I guess. So yeah, if I can hopefully gain maybe another 4,000 troops before Fredericksburg, I would have just over 70,000 troops. That'd be way more than enough, I would think, to be able to hold Fredericksburg. But who knows? Especially seeing to it. Yeah, I get another extra 800 soldiers that aren't mine, probably for an initial assault. I'm assuming that they're gonna have the initial assault across the river here in Fredericksburg. But if you stuck around for all that rambling at the end of the battle, I appreciate it very, very much. So, thank you all for watching. We'll start the Fredericksburg campaign in the next episode. But for now, thank you all for watching, and have a good one. This is General History, signing out. Bye-bye.